Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Max.
And this is Movies Actually, where we give you an honest review of the movies we've meddled with so mischievously over on Maybe Movies.
And on this episode, we will be looking at The Game. This is the 1997 David Fincher directed slick thriller, I suppose you'd call it.
Yeah, very slick.
Yeah, starring Michael Douglas, Sean Penn, Deborah Kara Unger, and also starring James Rebhorn, and featuring cameo appearances by two alumni of Sons of Anarchy, Tommy Flanagan and Mark Boone Jr. And also, as Sam quite rightly pointed out, well spotted, a very brief cameo from Yujiro Komamoto, who anybody, whether you're from the 80s or whether you're from now, will recognise as Chozen from the Karate Kid franchise.
Indeed.
Have we met? I believe so.
Well spotted, mate. Honestly, I
literally just spotted it this last watch through. It was a complete... Is that who I think that... Yeah, I think that is who I think that is.
That's worth a gold star, definitely.
I'll take it.
This is a fantastic film. It's kind of... I was going to kind of describe it as it's Fincher's almost like difficult middle child, because it's sandwiched right between Seven and Fight Club.
It's live.
I was wondering if that was what you were going to say. Difficult. I don't know if difficult is the right word, but I understand what you're saying. It was ill-situated for people to appreciate it at the time.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't do too bad. I mean, it was made for about 70 million and it took about 107. So it made its money back, but it wasn't a box office success.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense.
And I mean, I missed it completely. I mean, 97, I was up to my arse cheeks in hotel stuff. Basically, I was working at, so doing all odd hours and things like this. So completely passed me by. I didn't see it 2004, maybe early 2005. I was living in Warwickshire, working at a hotel over there.
Right.
And there was myself and 5 others who we'd all worked at a previous hotel and moved up to this one together, pretty much.
Okay.
And the hotel had paid for us to have a house in the village.
Oh, right. Okay, so it was the communal house.
Yes, and I'd come back from work. It was about 10 o'clock at night. I'd got back from work, and no one was home. People were either off on holiday or they were working. There was a function on that I didn't need to be there for and stuff.
Right.
And I came home and I was like, oh, okay. Had a flick through, and this was just happening to start on TV.
On TV? Oh, right. So I think that means that I was later than you.
Okay.
But ironically, this story has basically the same origin as Fight Club for me.
Okay.
It was my friend Jay said, you've got to watch this movie.
Hello,
Can't
Jay.
really explain. Oh, yeah, thanks, buddy. Sorry your team lost on the Super Bowl. Sucks to lose, doesn't it, buddy? Should have backed Mahomes. Anyway, he came to me with this movie and said, you just got to watch this. I can't really tell you much about it. If I do, I'll spoil it. So just watch it. You'll love it. Obviously, that must have been a year and a half, 2 years before he did the same thing with Fight Club.
Right.
But it was the same premise, and I didn't know it was the same director, but it makes so much sense now.
It does, but it's an interesting one because there's not a lot of kind of Fincher tropes in it. Fincher normally does these kind of things where you'll follow the journey, something through... Like, I always think of Panic Room, where there's a bit where you follow the cabling through the walls and stuff. But there's not that much of that in this. In fact, there's hardly anything at all.
No, I see what you mean. No, that's very true. Well, no, it's different, because it's not about the mechanics of the physical things, it's about the mechanics of his life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Although it does mean that he doesn't get the opportunity to do that through shot that he's so very well known for.
Yeah. I mean, the best, as you've quite rightly said there, I mean, this is a review of the film, but we can't tell you that much about it. So probably the best thing that I can say is I saw the way Fincher described it in an interview is a handsome, better-dressed Scrooge finds himself in a Mission Impossible situation with a steroid shot in the thigh of the Sting.
Sorry I'm late, guys. I was taking a crap.
Is how Fincher described it.
Is that how I have to admit, I kind of agree.
Yes, but it's had a bit of a interesting history. So apparently it was written, the screenplay was written and put up for option in about 91, 92.
Okay, so it wasn't hanging around for that long.
Yeah, so I think Warner had it first of all, and then they didn't do anything with it. Then Polygram picked it up. There was another director originally attached, I can't remember who, and they were looking at Carl McLachlan and Bridget Fonda initially.
Oh, I could see my Carl McLachlan working. I'm not sure about Bridget Fonda. She could have been good, might not, I don't know.
But then that fell through. It sat around for a while. It then got past to Fincher, who really liked it. He was making plans to do it, especially when they had Michael Douglas attached. But then, all of a sudden, Brad Pitt became available for Seven, so they did that instead.
Oh!
So this got shelved until after Seven, and then he came back to it.
Oh, so it got held off.
Yeah. With, again, I'm sure we mentioned this before, because apparently at one point they were looking at Jodie Foster playing the role of Connie. And there was a bit of a discrepancy whether or not they could make her, because of the age difference, make him his brother, or make him his sister, or should it be his daughter, and that didn't work. But apparently, again, Fincher, because she was such a big name, a big draw at the time, was reluctant to put her into such a supporting role.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this is...
And then, as it turns out, she was already attached to Contact, so she went off and did that.
So she never could have done anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's one of those things that worked out the way it did.
Yes. And it could have been Jeff Bridges, but he turned it down. Can you see that? I don't know. As Conrad? I don't know.
No, like I said, woo, or peed on my rug.
I think Sean Penn's perfect for it. He's the perfect antithesis to...
Yeah, no, Sean Penn's perfect. I see what you mean. Sean Penn is right, yeah. Yeah, that was the better choice, definitely, I think.
Definitely. But yeah, this is a fantastic film. It is a slow burn, but that's not meant to dissuade you at all. It's a slow burn that's worth it. You know, it does deliver in spades in the end. So
it really, really does. So to put it in its simplest terms, it's about a very, very wealthy gentleman who has just about everything in his life, and on his birthday, he's offered the opportunity to play a game. And when he decides to join in, he finds his life is utterly turned upside down.
Absolutely, yep.
That's about as good as I can get.
That is literally about all we can tell you, and it is definitely one of those ones where the less you know about it, the better. Just sit back and enjoy, and it is, you know, again, for an early Fincher, it is, well, you know, one of his best. It's got cult status now, like so many films.
It's a story that it unravels as it goes.
Yes.
It's like a red carpet being slowly rolled out in front of you, and you getting the opportunity to enjoy every texture of the carpet.
Definitely. And again, unlike a lot of films that do have some certain amount of twists and turns in them, there is loads of rewatch value to it.
So much, yeah. Every time you watch it, you find a new layer to peel back and try and discover where that might have gone. Yeah,
so this was a couple of years ago now we did these, and this was obviously our actor double bill. We need to do that again sometime. I know we haven't really found another actor to do one with. I still think we need to do two characters by the same actor in a mashup.
You're right, we should. We should, yes.
Before I forget, I'm sorry, I am terribly sorry. I should have done this at the start, I will do this now. Normally we don't do shout-outs on this show, but there's a Facebook group that I'm involved in called Twisted Fiends, which is for horror fans. It's run by this wonderful lady named Victoria, and they try and keep plugging stuff to a minimum. There's certain days that you can, and so I was plugging some of our stuff on last Tuesday, and so for that, in compensation, so give a shout-out for the group. If you're a horror fan looking for a group of like-minded people to chat to and get to know, there'll be a link to the group in the description below. And again, Victoria, thank you for all your support and all your help.
So yes, please check it out and look below for the full description and links.
What else can we say, really? I mean, have you got anything else you'd wish to add?
No. There's more. There is more we can say. We're simplifying this.
We are.
Right. So yes, that's the plot and the description of things and happenings. The film itself is exceptionally well constructed. We were watching it earlier on, and even now, I mean, we've watched it at least 5 or 6 times each. Mm-hmm. And we were still going, well, what does this bit mean? Were they involved? Was that part of the setup? It's such an exquisitely convoluted story that you're constantly questioning everything you've seen so far when you reach the end. And that's one of the fun things about it. You can go back and you can look at it and go, is that part of the story? Is that part of the game? Is that one of them? There's a lot to be had from this. It's worth your time because even though it's one of those twist reveal stories, it's got so much replay value, which most twist stories don't have.
Normally you're one and you're done, and then wait until you're senile and you've forgotten it from when you first watched it.
Some things never change.
But no, this one you can just keep coming back. And again, I was so pleased because even when I watched it the first time, I enjoyed it, and it was one of those ones. It took a little bit of time. I had to go away and think about it for a bit, and then I literally forgot all about it.
Yeah,
it was weird. I forgot about it for about 10 years. I'd even forgotten the name of it. I just remember because I'd seen it just after the start, so I didn't catch the name. It was about sort of 10 years later. That was that Michael Douglas film. What was it called? And then I had to go through IMDb, look through. Oh, that's it. And then so I could track it down again. So I'm very pleased, wherever it is down there, to have it in my collection.
It's worth the expenditure of watching it the first time around, and then even this last time, I had fun just trying to work out how much money they spent doing what they did. You'll understand once you've watched the movie, but you'll get the idea. There is so much rewatch value with this movie. It's got layers upon layers upon layers, and every time you watch it, you find something else to pull back and peek behind. It's worth your time.
Absolutely. So again, I mean, I'm sure if you're a Fincher fan, you've probably seen it. If you're not, check this one out, because I think even for that reason, because it is quite different from most Fincher movies. There are similarities. The slight desaturation.
It's got a different tone.
It does, yeah. But again, there's points, and again, you nicely pointed out. There's a bit where he's actually made a point of just slightly desaturating the frame in camera, and you see it. When you spotted it, I had never noticed it, but it's there. Just little things like this. So there are, as you say, so many layers. The layers are not just in the narrative; they're in the cinematography as well.
Yeah, they're visual. It's the director trying to elicit a response from you, and the more you watch it, the more you realise the director has been working on your heartstrings since the beginning. It's a genius piece. It's worth your time to check out at least once, and probably a dozen times. So Absolutely. Go on, give it a try.
That is, again, all of the thumbs.
All of the thumbs.
Yes. And now, I think it's about time you went and got your own tree.
All right then.
Until next time, guys, take care of each other. And goodbye.
As always, guys. TTF time.